Hi, my name is Jagdish Borah, and I am a faculty member in the Departments of Social Work and Management at Assam Downtown University, Guwahati. My specialization is human resource management, and I am glad to be here today to take you through the subject of human resource management. Today, we shall be looking at the nature and functions of HRM. It is the human resource which is of paramount importance in the success of any organization, and therefore, to be a successful HR manager, we must first understand the nature of HRM and its functions. It is the people who possess skills, abilities, and aptitudes that offer competitive advantage to a firm. It is only human resources that is capable of deciding, implementing, and controlling activities. No computer can substitute the human brain. No machine can run without human interventions, and no organization has the mandate to exist if it cannot serve people's need. HRM is a study about people in organizations, how they are hired, trained, compensated, motivated, and maintained. Now, some of the key functions within the overall strategic plan of the organization. Before that, let me explain one thing. Whatever functions we are discussing today are just the key functions of the HR department. There are various other functions and issues. For example, matters of leave taking, maintaining leave records. These are also part of HR functions, but we are not including it here because we are including only the key functions. If there is a township or an employees colony near a factory, looking after that township or colony is also an HR function, but that also we are not presenting in this lesson. So, the number one function is human resource planning, and we shall be, in the next few lessons, we shall be talking about this. Human resource planning, that is, projecting the future manpower requirements and developing manpower plans for implementation. The process of forecasting a company's future demand for and supply of the right type of people in the right number. Suppose someone wants to start a manufacturing factory. What will he do? He will first decide what he wants to manufacture there, how much he wants to manufacture, and where all he plans to sell these products. He will also decide what is the budget required for this factory and from where he will get the raw materials. So, having decided the key objectives, he will then go to the next HR function, which is he will plan how many people are required in which departments, which are the departments which will function in that factory, and what are the types of people required, and how they will recruit. So all this comes in human resource planning function. Next function is staffing. So based on the strategic HR plan, HRM performs the hiring process to recruit and select the right people for the right jobs, obtaining people with the appropriate skills, abilities, knowledge, and experience to fill vacancies in the organization. Now, some people might think it's very easy. If there is a vacancy, advertise the post, you will get a lot of people, and out of that, you select. But no, unless you are specialized in the field, there are many things which can go wrong, and you cannot afford to go wrong. And if you are trained as an HR specialist, you know what can go wrong and what cannot go wrong, and how to go about it the right way. For example, I want in my organization, I want to recruit one assistant. So I give an ad in the papers, required assistant for XYZ company. Please apply to so and so. And the qualification required is graduation. That's all I give. I'm not very experienced in the HR function. So what will happen? You'll get thousands and literally hundreds of thousands of applications from all over the country, because you have just advertised for graduates, and then you will be totally lost and submerged in the number of applications which come to you. This is just a small example I am giving. So if you are trained, you will know that if I want to recruit an assistant, I will first have to tell in the advertisement, I have to first spell out what are the functions of that assistant. And I want people, I need experienced people who have experience in these functions. Then I will lay down the exact qualifications. It may be graduation in commerce, it may be graduation of BBA. I will again narrow down the qualification level. I will specify the age limit. Since this is an assistant post at the entry level post, I will probably say maximum age limit 25 or 26. So in this fashion, I restrict the number of people applying, and then I call for applications and scrutinize the applications, and then objectively, in the right manner, select the people, maybe through some selection tests. This is just an example of staffing. Training and development. Now, helping new employees develop skills needed for their jobs. They are new to the organization and they need to be helped in the skills required in that job, so they will be trained. Also helping the current employees grow their skills. Develop people. Now, when we say development, we mean that this term is basically used for the supervisor and managerial levels. This means that we will help these people to grow to take up higher responsibilities, and by way of promotion or whatever. And when we talk of training, we are talking of training in developing their skills. That skill may be in learning how to operate a machine, learning how to operate a tool, or the skill may be communication skill. So these are the. Now, to whom to train and how to train. So we have to determine the training needs and implement training programs to ensure that employees perform satisfactorily and advance in the organization. Again, someone may say, what's the problem of training? Get a trainer and train up the people. But no. What is the type of training that the employees require? There are various methods of finding out. Because it's no point training a person who already knows the subject or who is already skilled. So you have to find out what are the training needs. And what type of program to have, what type of trainers to have are all subject matters of human resource management. Compensation and benefits. Establishing an equitable policy that guides administration of monetary and non-monetary benefits which are consistent with the objectives of the organization so that employees are motivated. So what is compensation? Compensation is the monetary or non-monetary benefits which we give to an employee in return for the work that he does for the organization. So when we say establishing an equitable policy, we mean establishing a policy which is fair to all the people. If I today employ an HR man for the post of HR executive, now I appoint two people having the same qualifications and experience as an HR executives. I pay one 50,000 rupees per month and I pay the other 75,000 rupees per month for no apparent reason. So that is not equitable. Equitable means it has to be fair, otherwise people will get dissatisfied. So how to make an equitable compensation policy is a very important function of HR, and which we shall also be learning in due course of time. Because the main purpose of compensation and benefit is to keep the employees motivated and to retain the employees so that they don't search for other jobs and leave the organization. Monitoring and maintaining of what? Design and administration of workplace practices, including maintenance of discipline, safety, security, and health of the employees. So the HR department will make rules and regulations of how people are to behave, what are the standards of discipline, what are the safety regulations and rules, what are the security measures to be taken into consideration, and also to take up programs for the health of the employees. For example, within the HR department, there is a welfare officer who looks into the welfare and health of employees. There is another officer who looks after discipline, safety, security. So all these are HR functions, and we have put that in the monitoring and maintaining part. Also, compliance with legal and statutory standards and regulations. There are various legal frameworks of the government. We have to follow those rules and regulations. There are some statutory standards and regulations laid down by the government through various legislations like the Factories Act, Industrial Disputes Act, Trade Unions Act. So these are various legal provisions which exist in the country, and it is the primary duty of the HR department to see that all these are complied with in various departments. If there is a question of safety, there are certain safety precautions laid down under the Factories Act. So various departmental heads will have to ensure that these safety standards are in place, and this will be looked into and supervised by the HR department to see that it is actually in place. Next, evaluation and retention. So an employee comes for work, the employees come for work, how they are performing, how they are doing, are they giving the productivity, are they giving the output, are they achieving the goals of the organization. So various procedures are there, like the performance appraisal systems and methods, various methods of employee assessment, and these methods will be put in place. These procedures will be designed by HR department, and then employees will be appraised or judged according to these procedures and methods. And then develop the strategies to retain these employees. Because if an employee, after the performance appraisal, we find that an employee is very good, do we leave it at that? No. We encourage that employee, we compensate that employee with some rewards and incentives so that he gets job satisfaction and he stays in the organization. Otherwise, we lose a good employee. Also here, from the negative point of view, after the appraisal of the employees are done, if some employees are non-performers, the HR department will counsel them, coach them, mentor them, train them up, and in spite of that, if they are still non-performers, they may be asked to leave the organization. Industrial relations. Now, employees, workers, and the unions, they have to work side by side with the management, but it sometimes doesn't happen. There's a lot of rift between the management and the employees for various reasons, which we shall discuss in the subject of industrial relations. So there are various things which can go wrong between the employees and the management. So the role of HR is to develop proactive policies to ensure harmonious relations with the employees and their unions. Next is change agent. The HR manager is responsible to act as a change agent in bringing required changes in the organization and its culture. There may be many things wrong in the organization. There may be many processes wrong, many procedures wrong, or the culture may be out of place. People are not happy with the culture. All these are the subject matter of study by the HR professionals. And if they find that there is some scope for improvement, they will try to improve upon it and change that particular system or culture by acting as change agents. Now, it must be kept in mind that good communication skills are very important for managers to carry out their functions. They must also have an understanding of key external factors social factors, legal factors, technological factors, and economic factors, because all these factors somehow or the other will impact on the organization where they work. As we come to the end of today's lesson, I would advise all of you to study the topic in greater detail from any of the textbooks prescribed in the syllabus and expand the material in writing. I look forward to seeing you in the next session.